Hey everybody, how are you today? This is Jim from the Pain PT, and today I want to go over a common question I've been receiving a lot is how do you reconcile somatic tracking with this very strong self-talk? And in more of my recent videos, I've been really sort of giving you guys the idea that you need to use your prefrontal cortex to communicate strongly with your amygdala and your limbic brain to get it to settle down. And a lot of people have been asking me, that seems like you're in opposition of somatic tracking, where you sort of sit back and just allow your body to express or your body to emote. And then when you're doing this strong self-talk, you're getting very active and talking to your brain. So people are getting a little bit confused and saying, hey, do these two things conflict? Are they in opposition? And I want to go over that today because I think it's an important distinction. Now, the two of these are just two separate tools, you could say, that we want to have in our pocket. We want to be able to use so that we can work on our nervous system and our brains for healing. Now, somatic tracking, as you guys know, is the process of being able to accept and allow the processes internally in your body that you feel, the feelings you feel in your body, allow them to express themselves in any way they want. Okay, and so when we're doing somatic tracking, what we're trying to do is not react to what we feel. So the purpose of somatic tracking is to reduce the reaction to what we feel. You can say reducing the fear, reducing the worry, reducing the concern around what we feel. The other purpose of somatic tracking is to work with emotions that could come up in the body, because emotions are also feelings, first and foremost. So it's something we feel, and then we put a word to it. So when we're feeling our feelings in the body, we're a lot of times feeling emotions, which we're trying to feel. And that is helpful with somatic tracking because it's helpful to acknowledge, accept, allow, and feel our feelings, feel our emotions. So that's where somatic tracking comes in. So it's an acceptance process. It's a non-reaction process. So the purpose, again, of somatic tracking is not to react to what you feel in your body, not to react to what you feel. Now, that's one half of the equation over here, is non-reaction. The other side of the equation is what I always call responding. Okay, so if you can imagine, again, these two pieces here, and one of them is sending the message over. Okay, let's say this is your limbic brain and it's shooting off messages or shooting off feelings or symptoms in your body. And you're over here, very mindful. Somatic tracking brings in mindfulness, and you're not reacting to what it's throwing at you. Okay, whether it's feelings, whether it's symptoms, you're very stable, you're very still, you're very calm, you're very alert. Now, that's one half of the equation, right? You're getting pinged with pain, you're getting pinged with symptoms, but you're just able to stay present, you're able to stay neutral around what you feel or see what you're feeling as not being dangerous. Now, it doesn't mean you're not allowed over here in your cortex to send a message back to respond to what the limbic brain is giving you over here. Okay, so it sends you a message, and you very much want to send a message back. That's your response. Your response is not your reaction. Your reaction is a quick, negative, fast, usually thought or impulse that comes in. And it's in agreement with what this amygdala may be telling you over here. So that's where somatic tracking comes in. It gives you an awareness. It gives you it builds mindfulness, somatic tracking, to feel this, notice this, and not react further. We don't want a double reaction. Okay, that's just going to blow this thing up bigger. Okay, we have an initial reaction from your amygdala or from your limbic brain that you can't necessarily stop because it's too fast. So it pings you. Okay, I'm going to handle that. That's fine. I'm mindful of that. I'm aware of that. I'm not going to react over here further. I'm going to respond. I'm going to respond to the reaction. Respond to the reaction. The response is the self-talk. The response is the strong messaging, or what we call cortical control. That's the word that's used in the literature and the science. And I'm really getting very big on this because there's a lot of good science coming out around it. So I want to follow the evidence that cortical control is essentially the same thing as you communicating to your subconscious mind. You inserting messages, affirmations, phrases, responses to the subconscious mind in the direction of what you want. Okay, we don't want to, a reaction is going to be negative, but we want to respond positively. So a positive response would be something like, hey, knock it off, brain. I know what you're doing. This is fine. I know what you're doing. This is just anxiety. I know you're upset. I know this is a memory response now. We have a lot of science saying that chronic pain and chronic symptoms is partly a memory response in your brain. So I'm not going to contribute to this memory anymore. Hey, brain, relax, take it easy. We're good. So you want some response that is not in agreement with what this amygdala limbic brain is shooting at you. Okay, it's got to be for what you want, which is what? You want the symptoms to go away. You want the things to calm down. So you want to tell your brain that in the most direct way possible what you want. And the reason you can say it with confidence and conviction is because with mind-body syndromes, or what we call TMS, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing going on that's really damaging or threatening in the body. It's just these signals coming from your brain that go into your body. Okay, so when you're doing your response work, your self-talk, that's changing the signals. Okay, so that's changing the signals. You're trying to alter, or you're trying to stop this limbic brain from overreacting. Okay, so you can tolerate the reaction. That's somatic tracking. I can handle it. That's called affect tolerance. It's another term. And window of tolerance is another term that we use that builds the tolerance to feel your feelings. Okay, and that's helpful for emotions. It's helpful for this stuff, so you don't react as much again. But the response is very, very important. Very, very important that you respond with the message that you want. Okay, what you're looking for, and that you hold that here very strongly, just like you're mindful and you're staying over here when you're doing somatic tracking. You're not becoming the symptom. You're also staying over here with your response. You're not becoming the reaction. You don't want to react to the reaction. So I hope that's helpful, guys. They're two different tools, but they work together in unison. One, you could say, is more of a neural pathway message. The other one is more of a mindfulness practice. Okay, and we know both those things, both this what we call cortical control and a version of mindfulness or somatic tracking, both those things have been shown to increase prefrontal cortex activity, which is what we want, and decrease amygdala activity, which is also what we want. So both of them are both valuable tools that you can use in unison. Okay, so set aside time to do some somatic tracking, but during your day, when you notice your symptoms, I want you responding to it. I want you responding to it. Maybe it has to be a lot in the beginning because your pain is reacting a lot. So your response has to be a lot. But in time, you should see that as you become less reactionary to your pain and symptoms and you respond more often, you're not going to need eventually to respond as much because the symptoms are going to start going down. All right, guys, reach out with any questions on this. I know this is a common theme I hear about in some of the questions I get from my patients, clients, also on the YouTube chat board. So if you got your questions, put them there. If you need any support, you know how to find me at the Pain PT, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.